everyone to our episode 56 of our section Drops of Wisdom. In today's podcast, in today's Wednesday, we are going to talk about the book Chasing Excellence by Ben Bergeron, and we are going to talk about success and how this concept has been really misunderstood, and it is just a trending um, tendency that we are following, and we are just following fake success, fake things that are just depicted in these kind of social platforms, because of course what people post or the life that you are watching through these kind of social networks is the life of marketing, is the life that people want you to believe that that is real. But life is not always sweet. It also has sour, it also has failure, it also has challenges, and it also has diseases. And all of those things are the ones that probably many people don't talk about, and they don't show that. And we would learn a lot more if we were more real, and we would avoid following certain paths or doing certain things if people also talk more about their mistakes and about how they were, and all of the things that they have to do in order to get to where they are, because we just see the tip of the iceberg, but there is a lot of work behind it. So, sometimes our failures and mistakes have a subtle way of pushing us forward if we are bold, if we are listening, if we are paying attention, and that is how we use our resilience and grit to push harder, to see the window of opportunity, and to dare to move from our comfort zone. Every failure we have, every failure we face, make us wiser and stronger. That's how we grow, not just by following the things that are easy, not just by looking the comfort zone. Commitment requires having a passion and the right habits. And yes, you listen correctly. It is not just loving what you do, because while you do all of those things that you love and you don't feel that is work, you will be facing several challenges that if you don't have the right habits, if you are not able to pay attention, if you are not able to concentrate on what you're doing, then at some point in time, that passion will be transformed into seeing or doing things that you are not really enjoying. What sets the great performers apart is deliberate practice, and that involves pushing yourself out from the normal limits, past from the normal limits. For example, you can ask yourself, am I giving this task my absolute attention? Am I using my full potential to do what I'm doing or what am I about to do? If you set that intention, I'm sure that the things that you are going to perform are going to be much, much better. What do I need to practice and improve at this stage in my life? That's another question that you can start answering and improving the way you are doing things. When starting out, that any kind of discomfort you may be putting yourself through will pay off in the long run. So that's the learning curve that we all have to go through in order to acquire an ability. Excellence or success requires a balance between strict control and knowing what you can't control, recognizing that there is a noise that you can control, there is the weather that you can control, there is a lot of things that are external that are surrounding us in this kind of experience that is filled with the stimuli and distractions if we want to give away our power, because the word distraction, the meaning is, if we divide the word, is this that is stepping away, and traction. So It is stepping away your force from the thing that you are doing. So anything can be a distraction if you are not paying attention to the task that you are performing. For example, you can spend a maximum of 5 minutes considering what has happened and then spend the next 10 minutes focusing on your breathing and centering yourself on being in the present moment. In this way, you can quickly let go any kind of negativity by just focusing your energy, being mindful in your own breath. That's the only way we can recover from this distracted mind. It's important to recognize that every mistake that you are doing, you can avoid repeating it, but you have to quickly let it go so it won't affect the next performance. And probably by the end of the day, you are going to have time to analyze what happened in that or in those mistakes. Learning and improving and becoming successful is a path full of mistakes, full of failures. So recognize that, because everyone that is successful, everyone that has achieved real abundance in their lives has had to pass through challenging experiences, obstacles, and also many times tragedies. Confidence means accepting the bad with the good and being humble about it. A football team from Ohio State, the coach Urban Meyer, has a formula that states F event plus response is equal to outcome. So if you summarize this, is E plus R is equal to O in short. In other words, this formula is for any kind of athlete or performer in terms of giving you the attitude, the response to a given situation, and plays a significant role in the outcome. So you have the power to control the situations because you are the only one that is going to dictate how you are going to respond to the things that happen in your life. You are going to make them have meaning. You are going to make them have a positive thing in spite of being bad or being challenging. Then the outcome, it's gonna be much better. The athlete's or the performer reaction is the only factor we can control, and no matter what the outcome, we can always have confidence in knowing that we did all that we could. So as long as we give our best in any task that we are being embarked upon, that's where we are going to really challenge ourselves to have a much better growing experience. The single loop learning is when an athlete or a performer focuses solely on the external reasons for why they have to do the results or they have to obtain the results. So that is just the titles, the accolades, the money. But a double loop learning is the factors in both the external and the internal reasons, and it often leads to a much faster way to obtain answers to your problems and in a much integrative way to adapt to change and to be resilient. Intense training can give you a big advantage and prepare you for the worst possible conditions. This is where the phrase applies: what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And there is some truth in that philosophy, because in the world of psychology, this is referred to as adversarial growth. And they believe that challenges are a very significant driver in personal growth. Having grit allows you to push through limitations and achieve competitive excellence. So, grit is the quality that keeps you going on and passing the obstacles and turning a terrible day and where everyone probably seems to be against you into a beautiful, enlightening day. It's refusing to give you up. It's refusing to um, surrender and not give a fight, and finding that extra bit of effort within you when you think that you have been drained dry. It is looking for that power that is still within you and combining that with the other qualities. So that's the only way you are going to be covered to create excellence. Your quality plus your grit, that power within you will allow you to be and have competitive excellence, and you are going to be guaranteed to still put your best effort. Even when you are having a bad day, you can turn it into a very meaningful day, as probably you are feeling that you are falling apart. It is just that space that you can create also by breathing more and by focusing more in your present moment. So, how can we summarize this reflection of this book? Well, with two phrases. The first one is: the more positive thoughts, the more positive results you will see in your performance, which will help to motivate you and to keep you improving. So it is not being a Pollyanna, it is just finding the positive during the challenge, during the struggle, so that you can take that piece of energy and motivation and turn it into motivation, into moving beyond from that state. And the second phrase is: grit is the quality that pushes you to keep going on. And when you are having a terrible day and everyone in the world seems to be against you, then it's refusing to give up without a fight and finding that extra bit of effort within you. It is changing the society into a more resilient one, and not keep the circle of diluting the society into a more fragile state where people cannot stand being bored, where people cannot stand to being uncomfortable and facing challenges because they don't know what to do. Why? Because many generations of parents have been overprotecting their children and doing things that they should be responsible for. That's the problem with many of the fragile societies that we are seeing now. So if we want to change the future of the world, really, we have to create more resilient people. We have to create more resilient children, and we have to let them face challenge, face uncomfortable things, and face boredom, and know what to do with their time in those moments and with their energy. Thank you for listening. If you like this reflection, if you like the tips and all of the bullet points that I mentioned, please help me. And also, I encourage you to move from your comfort zone and give me a comment about the lesson and about the video. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, and we will see each other on our next video. Bye.